How are you
Morning,
guys?
guys.
Uh,
Good, good.
and do we have any wins to share this beautiful morning? It's getting cooler in Austin after today. That's a win.
Yes, for sure.
Mhm.
I
My
might have a win to share, but I don't want to. I'm very
Jinx.
superstitious at sharing my wins.
Yeah, no
I
worries.
love it.
So,
All right. I will
Very
give
good.
everyone a couple minutes to keep hopping in. Jamie, how are you?
Doing good.
I'll get that drone back to you and after. So tomorrow, I think is the last place I want to use it. That Apache Shores place.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm not
Okay,
worried about it.
okay. I
I
am.
know where you live.
I looked up the costs, so I am.
It's a fun toy.
It is, and I've gotten better with it, but it's like, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I just wish it
Yeah.
would go higher because it won't go high enough to where I can get like
Well,
a,
and I thought I logged it in, but I'm wondering if
it's
maybe
not,
yeah, we just need to log it in.
okay, yeah, because I was like, I'm not able to get any like above
Yeah.
shots.
No,
Yeah, it
I
says it's
will
not logged in.
send you that right now because I did notice you say that, and I was like, why would it not go all the I don't know. It's like every 30 days, it seems like it doesn't keep the login. Who knows?
Ah,
Okay. Well,
All right.
we are just wanting to let a few more people pop in for sure as we get started on our vision for 2026. Who is excited for 2026? I feel like by the end of every year, we all get like, this is it.
I know, and I nerd out on like new beginnings. Hi, Jay. And like Mondays and first of the months and first of the years and all the things. I'm like, okay, I get to start over. Fresh, clean slate.
yeah.
Hey,
I'm
Mark.
my Q4's looking pretty good, knock on wood.
That's
Good
So
morning.
awesome.
I'm hoping to have it continue to next year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I will continue it into next year.
you will. Momentum is important because it takes a minute to build it and build the pipeline.
Yeah.
So you'll be off to a good start.
And I'll keep doing my money spells on the first of the year.
Hmm.
I mean,
Perfect.
the first of the month.
Whatever works.
True.
Mark, I haven't seen your face in a minute. How are you?
Morning. Buenos dias. How are you?
Buenos dias. Bien, bien.
Good, good.
Um, all right. It's going to be a good 2026. Do y'all feel that? I think
100%.
market wise, just everything the past couple years have been a little different and we've adjusted and there's some pent up demand out there. So it's going to be good. Well, I want to respect your time and it's 10:04. So I'll go ahead and get started and share my screen. Okay. Can you guys see that? I want to
Yeah.
see you and this. And I want this to be interactive. So please stop me, interrupt, raise a hand. Jamie and I'll keep an eye out. But yeah, we want this to be a discussion. And this isn't, all my proprietary stuff. I was just recently inspired by a couple of other coaches that I have had in the past and that I follow. And so Jamie, is it okay if I make you another host?
Yes, please do. I will keep an eye on that.
Okay, thanks. Um, okay, cool. So yeah, I have more resources. Everyone is a little bit different, so everyone does business planning different.
Hmm.
And I get that I used to really hate the woo-woo stuff, and I know a lot of people do. They just want the tactical, like to-do list stuff. But I've done that for years and we don't actually do what we know we need to do. So the first half of this is going to hang in. It's going to be for us woo-woo people that it's more about vision setting and becoming super clear on what you want and why. And then the last half will be ways to make sure we actually do it. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jamie and I are business partners in Austin. We have a team. We're different. We've both been in real estate 15 years. I think you guys know my story, but a little bit more introverted, analytical accountant in my previous life. And yeah, we're just on this journey together in the midst of our transformations, just like everybody else. But we've, I don't know, I've done it for a while. I've paid a lot of money for coaching, and I have some things that I think are valuable, and I just want to share it. Jamie, do you want to intro your beautiful self?
Sure. Yeah, same thing. I mean, we've been orbiting in the same area. We both grew up here, and it was truly, divine intervention for us to find
Love at
each
first
other.
sight.
But yeah, it's crazy to me how, we could be so close, so similar in the way we run our business and, have similar goals and all the things and be doing it similarly but totally separate and totally different, right? So there is no right, perfect one way to do any of this. And I
Yeah.
think that's why Jess is saying, like, we really have to tap into why are you doing this? If you don't start with that, like, core of why you're doing this, you're not going to make the calls, you're not going to go to the networking things, you're not going to reach out to your sphere because you're not tapping in to what you're really wanting out of this. So, I think it's a very
Yeah.
good point.
And this whole group, this growth agent thing, Jamie and I just, we are kind of all out there, either close in proximity or not, like trying to build the same things and working on the same things. So we really want to collaborate and share what's worked for us in hopes that it can help others. And so today we're going to kind of go over how to get clear on something that makes us feel excited to get up every morning and do this work, the 3-year plan, and we'll talk about why 3 years and stuff in a minute. And then how we reverse engineer back to our 1-year goals and our 90-day sprints, and how to actually, the logics of putting it in your calendar and stacking these little wins every day and action items to get us there. And then other tips to revisit and adjust and have some accountability, just so we can all make progress. I feel like I went through the same year in real estate for, I don't know, 5 years or so, and I sold about the same amount. I did about the same things, and it was just, a little hamster wheelie. So I want to make sure that our time is intentional. We only have so much time. And this, if you were here on the agent attraction one, it's a similar exercise, but it's powerful. So real quick, hang in, I know, but pretend that we're done. We're gone. We're no longer here on this earth. Like what would people say about us? Think about what our legacy would be, all the stuff that we wanted to do but didn't get to, who you've impacted, just like it is a helpful exercise because we never know when it's our time, and it really helps us get clear on like what's important. I feel like as an agent, it's easy to get distracted by what everyone else is doing and how they're winning.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us are just preoccupied with fires and stuff that really doesn't matter. So this kind of makes it clear and makes me want to like give my all and really focus on what we truly want and keep us on track. Like it is a gift to get to do this with you guys and to be here. So let's spend our time building what we really want.
Yeah, I love it.
And we can share these slides. There's some other resources too. Um, but I've been kind of nerding out with William Lamb, this neuro I don't know, mindset guys, subconscious brain, science, it's really powerful, you guys. Like if we visualize it and get super clear on it, and another old mentor was like, smell the leather, like of the car you want, get all five senses involved. And our brains can't tell the difference between a really vividly imagined experience and a real one. One of my mentors was like, if you received a phone call and it said that your loved one got in a serious car accident, your brain would feel all the things and our bodies would react as if that were real, whether it is or not. So that just helped me kind of get that through my brain. We have the power to really visualize and put our subconscious brain to work and shape our success. We can get clearer. Sorry, it's kind of echoey. Okay. But yeah, we can get super clear on who our ideal clients are, what attributes they have, how to attract more business, close more deals, lead our team, whatever we want. If we get super clear on it, our subconscious brain will go help us find it. The universe is on our side. God is on our side. Like if we spend all day focusing on what we want, our brain's going to help us get there. But the reverse is also true. I know when I was first asked, like, go dream, go wild, what do you want? And I was like, well, I don't want to be stuck in traffic. I don't want to cook and clean all the time. Like, it's really easy to focus on what we don't want. And that's clear, but it's hard to really dream big. And so I like to even get out of my house and go somewhere beautiful that inspires me. Because if not, if we're not clear, just like those years I repeated, we just end up like drifting and getting distracted and defaulting back to this whatever reality, our norm. So,
Survival mode.
yes, survival mode for sure. So that's kind of why we set 3-year goals, because it's long enough to have a totally different life in 3 years. And 1-year goals are more tactical, like a to-do list, and it doesn't feel like we can get far enough in 1 year. But 10-year goals are so far out, they seem just not realistic and too much theory guessing, like, oh, that's great, but it's all rah rah. Like it's so far out from my current reality. So 3 years, you can think bigger, you can be totally different in 3 years in health and business and wealth and all the things, your relationships, but it's close enough to feel real. So then when we're clear on it, we know when we're getting distracted or when we're getting closer to it. So it's super important. And we're going to zoom through this, but it is important to think of your life in a more holistic view. This isn't just if I make, this number of calls and have this many conversations, my life's going to be perfect. Our lives are so much more than this career. They're, our health and our relationships. It doesn't matter how rich we are. If we don't have health or relationships, like life isn't going to be that fun. So, although, and I feel like the fulfillment and growth piece is kind of like our relationship with ourselves. If we are just engaged, if we feel like we have purpose, if we're learning what lights you up, like what are you contributing to, that's like more purpose why you're here. Relationships with your people. And yeah, if we end up just old and lonely and rich and then we die, like what is it all for? So anyway, it is important to have our health. If we can't bring the energy to all this stuff every day, we're not going to get there. And if we don't have the health to like go enjoy it and travel and walk around, I don't know. So think of this goal setting in a holistic way with all the pillars of your life. All right. And now let yourself dream. Let yourself like not be constrained by your current what you think is available to you. If you need to go out there and find evidence from other people that do what you want to do and live where you want to live and, have the wealth that you want to have, you can go find it. One of my mentors took a group to like overseas to Europe. I think it was Monaco. And people are so just chilled and laid back and wealthy and abundant. And, even if it wasn't how we were raised, this stuff can be available to you. We can find the evidence. We don't want to be constrained by, rolling our eyes and just saying, "Oh yeah, in another lifetime," or if I didn't have kids, or if I didn't, I don't know. I mean, it kind of stinks if your kids feel like they're not letting you live your best life. And people take their kids and live wherever they want to live. Like, I don't know. So, no excuses. Figure out what you want, visualize it, just like athletes and performers, and, visualize the win before it happens. Because the more real it becomes in your brain, the more clear you are about all the sensory things, how it feels. You're like, again, your brain doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. It'll help you get there. So write it down, write it like a narrative, like a movie. Some people record themselves saying it, some people read it every morning or every week. And, write it down as if it's happening. I'm someone who, not I want or I will, but I don't know, we need to get a really clear sense of our future self so that we can channel them and bring their habits into our current reality, into our present. Okay. Because, yeah, we know we need to put stuff on social media and follow up with our past clients and do all of this. But unless we are clear on why we're doing this, why it matters, it's easy to just get distracted or not do the things that we know we need to do. So we just have to reconnect with why it's our fuel, and it lasts longer than, a moment or week or month of motivation.
Yeah. I mean, this business is hard. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, I don't know why my little image didn't work there. But the first book is Vivid Vision, if you want to learn more about this, and the second one is Be Your Future Self Now. It's really interesting and it's really powerful. So it's good to focus on what scares you the most, because that might be like what you need to work on or what those gaps are, how to close the gap. And again, I just saw a business planning thing by Jess Linavelle. She runs the Listings Lab and coaches on social media content. And I'll send out these slides, but that's a link to her group if you want to learn more about this stuff. She's an excellent resource and she can help you get there faster in collapse time. But these are good books if you want to nerd out on this stuff. Okay. Now, after we've done this, and I know we don't really have that much time today, so we need to do this like at a separate time. Really just make the space, get out of your normal routine and get clear on that. And now we get to the how. And this also came from a coach, and I have his Facebook link below there, and I'll send the spreadsheet out. But I feel like we all feel like there's certain things that we should do in all these areas of our lives. And so it can be helpful to just brain dump them out. If you think you should do them, if you think you might want to do them, but you don't know exactly what you want to focus on the most, just start writing. In all these areas, what could you do? And then we can narrow down and get to from coulds to like the musts. So in each area, we can just focus on one or two things. And for each business goal, we can break it down to like 2 or 3 funnels of how we're going to get there. And so all of these are tabs on this worksheet, but we can break down our goals into from 3 years down to 1 year. If our life looks like this in 3 years, that's amazing. But what has to happen at the end of this year for me to be able to get there in 3 years? So it's good to break it down to 1 year, then 90-day sprints. We can do a lot in 90 days, you guys. So 1 year, 90 days, it's really good to think about what worked for you last year and what was your 3 top lead sources last year. What do you need to double down on? And what have you spent so much time on and you've never gotten a closed deal from? I don't know why we don't really look at this, but it's super helpful. And then, what's your budget? How are you going to implement leverage? These are just other things to consider. So, your big goals, your monthly action items, your weekly action items. And if you guys have any questions on, how to get there. Like these just seem like arbitrary numbers. Let's say you want to make $200,000, but you don't know how many conversations you need to have, or if you're unclear on some of these things, we have averages, and ChatGPT can probably help with it too. But we know how many conversations to equal a closed deal, or we can go back and track and get really clear because it is a little bit different for everybody. But now we get to plan out our ideal year and our ideal week and really time block these things in the calendar because we get busy, you guys. We get busy with production. We get busy with these calls. We get busy and don't do the things we need to do, myself included. So, at least if they're time blocked in your calendar, every morning you can get in the habit of looking at your calendar and these are your musts for the day.
Mhm.
Got to get these three things done before quote, start your day and let everything else get in the way. You can time block in the morning so it doesn't get away from you, whatever you need to do. But if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. I know I won't do it unless I'm reminded of it in the morning.
Mhm. Same.
Yes. So, yeah, we just need to stack the little bricks of consistency, find your few things that you really want to focus on this year and do the hardest things first in the morning. First thing, eat the frog. And I realize I put frong. Whoopsies. But if you guys haven't heard that or read that book, it's great and it's so true. And this is a reminder for myself, don't let your inbox control your day. I really need to be efficient with this stuff and batch out content creation and get in that creative mode and just create the whole week, not just today. And so you're so much more efficient than if you're going back and forth doing 800 things at once.
Mhm.
But yeah, we have to get clear on what it means for us to run the day, or the day will literally run you and you'll feel like a crazy person. And I enjoy kind of having a focus or a word for the year.
Mhm.
So what do you know you need to do, or who do you need to be, or you know, I don't know. I think my year for 2026 is essential. I'm still playing around with a few, but what is absolutely essential for me to be where I want to be in a year? What can I not do that wouldn't really change anything? And
I
then
love that. Essential.
Essentialism is also a great book. Has anyone read
Mhm.
it? It's so good. It's so good. And then, we can just really think about what are three things we can do in the next 30 days where we can start next year with momentum, start ahead of the game. Like let's start now because it does take time to um, really build momentum in this business and build your pipeline, get a deal closed, all of that. And I want to put the stuff in the chat. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So, you know, are y'all someone who, thinks of a word for the year? Like, have you already thought of your word for the year too? Any key takeaway from any of this or anything you want us to elaborate on? This is kind of our time to just kind of chat about everything that was just shared and let y'all, kind of take it from here.
Yes. What do you need? What are your thoughts? What works for you guys? Okay. I'm going to share the group to the Listings Lab method. Jess Linavelle is an amazing social media coach. If you want to learn more on some of the mindset and woo-woo stuff and how to create good content, use automations, get your systems down, really scale, she's awesome. And then Wayne is the guy with the spreadsheet that I just shared on the hero coaching. He's also amazing and has a coaching group. Any ahas? Anything interesting, different? Let's just chat now.
I've tried to do like manifesting and visualization and I always get blocked. Like when I start to do it, I just can't see myself actually, like, I can't smell the flowers, as I walk through the
Mm.
door, like, I can't do that. I'm so blocked, and I've read books and trying to get over it, but I don't know. I just have a hard time following through with the manifestation.
Huh. Like, oh, that's good. Matthew, start with Thanksgiving, what you're grateful for, and some reflection and what went well. I can
I
I
jump.
can see it. Yeah, go ahead, Matt. I'd love your input.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of doing like not other things.
No.
So first of all, it was Elizabeth, I guess. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I've noticed, if you don't know me, I coach a lot of agents across the country, and one common theme is exactly what you're going through. It's hard to really manifest the vision and like say this is where I'm going, like a vision board. This is what I'm going to do, but it's not here yet. Right? I'm still here. I can't see it because I'm still working, but I can't see it. Really, it truly is a mindset thing, and we block ourselves out from it. We have that mental block by doubt, like fear of rejection, fear of missing out, all kinds of fears, all kinds of doubts. And so that's why I said start with Thanksgiving, because you cannot have doubt, negativity, and fear when you're in a season of Thanksgiving. Period.
Mm.
So always start. I mean, that's a proven fact. I can tell you, most recently, just myself have a really long couple weeks, very, very busy, packed schedules, jumping from one event to the next, and or wait, even one meeting to the next, and it's just been nonstop. And so over time, you get burnout, and your mental is just like, "Ah, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm tired, right? You're getting burnout. And that's really just negativity. And as soon as you stop for a second and force yourself to be thankful for at least one thing, possibly two, and keep going, you can sit there and just be thankful. Thank whoever. If you're a believer, thank God. If you're not, thank yourself. Whatever the case may be. But just start with things that thank you for waking up. You know, thank you for being on time. Thank you for whatever the case may be. You just start there and keep going, and you will literally change your mindset and your mood, and then you'll start to be able to put that vision together, right? Or it's really just about where do you want to be, right? What's your overall ultimate goal, and then the steps to get there, and that's really the vision.
And you have to let go of the how, because
Yes.
then you're like, oh, this isn't really possible because of this. Like, you have to not even let the how creep into your brain and just let yourself dream. Because I do that sometimes. I'm like, oh, this isn't realistic. There's no way. And
I don't have that though. I
you
know
know,
I can do it. Like with all that I've been through, like, you
yeah.
know, my past and stuff, like I can do anything. I'm not afraid to be out, get out there or make phone calls or do whatever. And it's just, I don't know. I just have this mental block. Like I've made like AI videos of me and my kids, like at the beach, and like, and I watch them all the time, but then I'm like, nah, or like I don't know if it's my ADD brain, like, oh well, if I do I really want to live in this neighborhood when I visualize it, like, maybe I want to live somewhere else. And like, I don't know.
It's okay that it changes, and it's going to change in the next 3 years anyway. And mine changes a lot. I get stuck in the how, but you're right, you can do anything. And so if we don't try and if we don't know
Yeah.
what we want, it's hard to get there. And I get distracted so easily, you guys. It's crazy. I mean, I think it's, huh?
Interrupt you. I thought you were finishing up.
No, go ahead.
Sometimes your plan changes mid-year. You could have
Mhm.
a 5-year plan and it completely changed 6 months in.
Mhm.
And it's
Totally.
just change.
I mean,
So
I've
you
had a couple of like lifelong uh goals, and they've ended abruptly after a few years.
Yeah,
sometimes.
it changes.
Mhm. And we have to not get stuck in that and just keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
Adjust, pivot. Things don't always go to plan. We have to pivot and then adjust. The point of the business plan is really just to have our set clear goals, so we have something we're working toward. That's all it is, and to keep us on track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Jess Lineville, the coach that does the social media stuff, like she lived in Canada and was really good at this stuff and imagined this house in the Bahamas and like the layout, the floor plan, how her mornings were, how her evenings were. And guess what? Now she lives in that house in the Bahamas. I don't know. It's not like it magically happens, but she made a plan and there's different seasons of different focuses too. Like, I don't know. It does move around, but at first she was like, how do people do this? And she watched a bunch of TV and listened to a bunch of YouTube people about people that had totally just moved their lives to a tropical place. And then you start to kind of get like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. And this isn't, although it's not something I see every day, you can find evidence that it's real. There are a lot of people doing really cool things.
I mean, like sometimes you have to stop yourself and think, a couple years ago, I actually wished for this. Or like I had actually wanted this a couple years ago, or like randomly, it's like, oh, I am living that one dream or whatever, so I know it does happen.
It's so
Um, But yeah,
that we got to make sure we do is stay consistent. I found myself wanting to help others so much that sometimes I stopped working on my things because I'm starting to help others.
Mhm.
Consistent with my own dreams. And I used to coach sports, and anytime we in football when we weren't making the plays we needed to make, we did the easy plays to get to the first down, right? It only takes 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards. Now you got a first down, right? You get 10 first downs, you got a touchdown, right? So many times we go too big, and I think
Mhm.
yes, you were kind of on that in the beginning. It seems like it was when you're talking about going down to the 3-year plan. And I really like that, but we need to sometimes. I found myself going back trying to get back consistent throughout my little trials and life happenings to one day, just doing one day. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to get this today, and then
Yes.
whenever that happens, it may not happen the first day, it may happen the second day, but when it does, that's when I now add another day and build momentum, right? And you were
Yeah.
talking earlier also, momentum is very, very important, and that's why I try to start my year in October. Like, why you start?
Mhm.
Because most of the times it takes 30 days to close. Most times it takes 15 to 30 days to find a property.
Mhm.
So that's 60 days there, right?
Yeah.
It takes time to find the person, right? So you find the person, then you find the house, then you get to close. Now it's January, right? And now it's
Totally.
minimum. So I would, Liz, I know there's some things that you say it's hard to get yourself in that picture of the thoughts. Well, probably because you're not accomplishing consistently the things that you want to happen. But if you just do the small things, I think it will help you change, and you'll start believing the things can actually come because nobody wants to hurt. Nobody wants to fail, right? So I would say go smaller and accomplish the small things first.
Yeah. And it is good for me to think about like, if I stay on this path, where am I going to be in the year? And I can relate to that too about, am I moving the needle on what I really want, or am I just, people pleasing and being pushed around, not pushed around? Like there are opportunities everywhere, but which of those are really distracting me from where I want to go and which are in alignment from where I want to go? So even though, we can be grateful for these opportunities, we have to stay focused on, you're right, those little wins, singles win ball games, not home runs. It's so true. And so that's why the brick by brick thing is good. Just small, consistent, one post a day.
So you saw
Moneyball. I
Yes,
love Moneyball.
it's such a good movie. Yes.
Set 3 non-negotiables daily.
Mm-hmm.
Set your 3 non-negotiables. No matter what you do in the day, those 3 things have to get done.
Your must. Yeah, your power list. I love it.
Yeah.
Jessica,
Yes.
I feel like I have a hard time focusing. I know where I would like to be, but I have a hard time focusing on the things that I need to do to get there because I have so many distractions. And I can sit down and say, okay, today I'm going to work on my emails. And so I start working on my emails, and by the time I know it, I'm on Amazon ordering stuff. And so
Girl.
it just,
Mhm.
it just I have a lot of distractions. So I've been wanting to do a business planning Zoom or Meet or what have you, so I could try and get my life together because it's kind of like all over because I'm producing and my family's reaping the benefits from me producing, but it's kind of like, okay, it's not in line with where I want to be. And I see all these things that I want to do and I want to have, but would like to. And so
Mhm.
trying to get there has been a challenge, because I can't, I think I feel like I'm self-diagnosing myself that I am ADHD.
Yeah.
Alex,
Girl.
Krause.
I
Welcome,
need to get all my
sister.
ducks in a row. But I
Yeah.
know that it's possible. It's possible because when I decided that I'd rather be spending more time at home with my family, with my grandkids and all that, I set my mind and I said, I'm just gonna do real estate. And I did it 6 weekends in a row and still working full time, but it's because I was determined. So I know
Yeah.
I can do it. I know I can set a plan. But I
Yes.
just have so many, now that I have more time on my hands, I have like more distractions, you know.
Yes. Let's talk
But
one-on-one because I can totally relate to that. It is so
Mhm.
hard to focus sometimes. And I also don't want us to be kind of blocked by the idea that if we want twice as much, we have to work twice as much because that stopped me from scaling my real estate business for so long. I got into this business to spend more time with my kids
mhm.
and pay my bills. And so to me, I thought I don't want to work twice as many hours. Like, and there are seasons, but there's so many ways to scale and do this and have leverage. Like that's a good problem to have. If we start doing these things and making these blocks, we can start a team. We can have a showing assistant. We have the Showami benefit. We can do agent attraction. Like we can get stuff. Like there's so many ways to make money in this business. It's crazy. So even though you can still want things and earn more and not be miserable working, 80 hours a week. But yeah, let's talk offline about that and see if I can help. I have some things that I do that can help my environment and me to focus, but it's a struggle. It's hard. Matthew, do you have any tips there?
Yeah, to jump right on, I just want to piggyback right off what you just said. There are many ways, many different income streams that you can make just by having a real estate license. It's not all
Mhm.
black and white of just selling homes, but please, when you're business planning, don't try to tackle them all at once. Some of them are full-time jobs by themselves. So be
Yeah,
careful, be careful how much you take on. But
true.
absolutely, I would say that it's really just a matter of it's discipline. It comes down to discipline. Find things like Jess said, you'll talk one-on-one, find things that will help you stay focused, like certain routines. I turn my every notification on mute. Typically when I'm in a meeting, I put my focus modes on because if I get a text message, I promise you, I'm not going to intend to be rude and read it, but I will be in the middle of a Zoom meeting and in the middle of speaking and check the message and get distracted.
Mhm.
Like I clinically am diagnosed with ADHD, so I completely get that mentality. I've been
Yeah.
that way since I was in 6th grade. I think I was diagnosed, and I've learned to control it through I know what my triggers are. I know what things distract me. I know what, so all those things go away. Like I put all that aside. If I have to lock my phone up, I will. I don't do that, but I could, right?
Mhm.
So find out what your triggers are. What is it that distracts you? If it's Amazon, separate your email, right? Create a business email so that you're not getting Amazon emails in your business email, right? Just using that as an example, not saying that's what it is, but
Mhm.
if you have to do it that way, create a separation, which you should anyway. You should not have your personal and business email mixed anyway, just like you don't do your bank accounts. Um, so just try to focus. And again, 3 non-negotiables. I don't care what it is. you know, these 3 things get done every single day, and your day doesn't end until it's finished. You know, that's just that's your 3 you must do. One of them better be prospecting, right? As a coach, I gotta tell you that, right? So
But
that's
it's
my
true. And yeah, most of these things we can do in 5 or 10 minutes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And I am on day 208 of Duolingo learning Spanish. My future self knows Spanish so well. It's going to be so fun to travel. And so that, and it's like easier for me to do this stuff with like health or some of these other areas of my life. In business, sometimes it's hard to be like, if I do this, I'm super confident that this will happen. But use other people's evidence and talk to us, talk, I don't know, like mastermind about it, and we can help you with your 3 non-negotiables. But that's awesome, Matthew. Thank you.
It really just comes down to that. It's discipline. Nobody
Yeah.
can control that but you. It really comes down to how bad do you want it.
And having an accountability partner
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
that to help you, even if you're only talking to that person 10 minutes a day. But you know, you let them know what those distractions are, and then they can make sure you don't get on those distractions, or don't let those distractions get in your way. When you have you do this, you do that, and you say, okay, yeah, I did. But it has to be somebody that you're going to answer the phone, or you're going to call, not somebody you're going to duck and hide from. You have to be real first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because you can get an accountability partner, but if you let other excuses get in the way, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Let me
Right.
just
Yeah, that's a very good
piggyback
point.
right off that because I just coached this. I think it was on Thursday's call. Uh, it when it comes to accountability partner, 1, you're not accountable to yourself. It will never happen. Don't do it. 2, don't make it a family friend, a best friend,
No.
a life partner, a husband, wife, whatever it is. A child. Don't do that because they're not going to be strong and hard with you the way that you need to be. So pick somebody like a colleague, right? If you get of somebody you know that you like and trust and cool with, that might last for a week or 2, but that's about as far as it's going to go. So don't do it. Get somebody you don't know. Get somebody you might work with, but you're not comfortable with. Somebody who's going to be okay telling you you screwed up, you messed up, you need to get back on track, right?
That's
Don't
good.
want somebody's going to candy coat it, right? Period. So
Yeah.
find somebody within Epic, find an agent, find a coach. You know, if you hire a coach, an accountability coach is what we'll call them, right? You hire an accountability coach, or you bring somebody in that you don't know and just say, hey, can we be accountable to each other? You set meetings, right? No, I do. I do not. Jess, I don't. See, that's what I'm saying. The ADD distraction. That's how easy it is. Um, hire an accountability coach or get somebody to be there, and your dates are set. Your accountability calls are every Friday we're doing this, or every Monday we're doing this, and just make it part of your business. And that's it.
Yeah.
You
It's
have
so true. Like, I mean, and it always comes back to health. I can see how I paid $11 a week for Weight Watchers, literally just to go in, step on the scale, and they printed out a little sticker. I did not even follow the points or whatever, but I knew that I had to go step on the scale every week, and they would print out a sticker and it'd be in my little book. And that accountability is what it took at that time in my life. But I was like, this is so silly. I'm paying for all this. I'm not staying for the meetings, like whatever. But I needed that accountability with that stranger that, didn't care if I did it or not, because that's what it took to do it. So yeah, that's great advice. Okay, well, if anyone wants to reach out and, set up an accountability call, or if they need to be matched with an accountability partner, I'm totally here for it. Matthew, is Rob's business planning thing on Thursday?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
It is. It's Thursday.
You want to hear Rob's perspective? There's another one on Thursday, but after all of that, let's talk. I'm here to have all the conversations and, you know,
Yeah,
write
I would
out.
love to 2.0 this and drill in to how you can even implement and track your performance in Lofty.
Mhm.
It's something we're doing with our team, and
Yeah.
we can definitely have a very tactical, hands-on, open your Lofty, type in the things if y'all are into that.
Yeah,
Lofty's
I'm
great.
I'm game for that.
Okay.
Awesome.
So you're talking about the Lofty business goal track, like tracking your business goals? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Because within your same CRM, right? If Lofty is Bible, it's our database, it's how we're communicating with people. If we truly, track and dial in on all of that, it just kind of starts becoming like, okay, I open Lofty, I do what I have to do in Lofty.
And it tracks it
And
for you. You don't have to put it in. It like if you're calling and texting and emailing from Lofty, it's automatically in there. It's really cool.
Hey,
Yeah.
Nice.
does it have a way for someone to check also, like someone to go back? Because I know what was it, Follow Up Boss? Follow Up Boss, when I was a team lead with Follow Up Boss, you could actually go in and see to make sure that they did the things that they need to do. Do we have a way? Is there a way of someone, your accountability partner, being able to track and see that you did the things that you said you did?
That's a good
No.
question. You might have to screenshot it. We can, as a team leader, see our team members, but you might have to just say we're going to send each other a screenshot of our goal tracker every week.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, accountability is very important, and it's trust, respect, and you're not. I mean, for me, I'm not
Mhm.
hey, I want to prove to them that, hey, I can do this,
Mhm.
and I want to help them accomplish their goals. So
Mhm.
I think that's going to be really good. I think that's going to be really good, really good.
Something I did with my team was because when I moved, they don't have me there in the States, so they're kind of like started getting a little lazy, I like to call it. So I started making them do a daily check-in. So every morning, when they start their day, they'll send me a text with three things. They're three non-negotiables. By the way, Lofty should be your number one non-negotiable. If it's our Bible, it's our number one place, right? It's our hub.
Mhm.
So three non-negotiables and what their of their plan for the day. And then typically at the end of the day, they'll send a text and say, "This is what I did." Right. And by having that accountability, I mean, I know I'm not their team leader. It wasn't like meant to be the accountability partner. They have each other and other partners for that. But
Mhm.
it really set the tone for the team so that now they can start getting the stuff done because now they're not forced to do it, but they feel like, man, all right, I said this is what I'm gonna do and I have to accomplish these things.
And then
We did that at-
also,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, it's powerful. And you see other people doing it and getting wins from doing their non-negotiables. And so you're like, oh, turns out if you do the work, it works. Like weird.
When you do the work, it works.
Yeah, we did that at Ben Kinney. When I was on the Ben Kinney team, we do the non-negotiables, and then at the end of the day, we had to send a list of like exactly what we did, or they check our well, we had brevity at the time. They
Mhm.
check our brevity and stuff. So sometimes it was like stressful because but then it's like when other people are winning, you're like, I need, I got to get on it. Like I need to be in that winner circle or what, be successful and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So it really does help.
It's a mental thing, really. Accountability is nothing. It's not somebody to be your boss. It's not somebody to shake the stick at your hand when you didn't do what you were supposed to do. What it is, and in reality, is just a mental thing. It says, I did this today, or I didn't do this because. And as soon as you say it or text or write it out yourself, you acknowledge it and you go, wow, that was really dumb of me, right? And so you start to build a habit by having really just a daily non-negotiable, daily accountability. If your accountability partner is okay with it, I mean, I don't even answer the text messages, they just send them, right?
Mhm.
Like sometimes I'll check them and just go through them. We'll talk about it in our team meeting if issues came up or things like that. But typically, just them writing it in is just a mental, like, okay, these are things I need to do today. So it's all mental. And for most people, that's all that they need to stay on track and to stay in place.
Yeah, I'm ADHD, and that's why I have my notebooks have notebooks, and
Yeah,
my whiteboard has a whiteboard. Like I have to write it down and scratch
yeah.
it off, and I even have a notes app because then it's like like it feels good to get it done.
Yeah.
So I can tell you from an ADD perspective, or ADHD, I should say. Now, I'm not a clinician, so I can't tell you whether you have it or not. But I do, and I can tell you that the 3 non-negotiables really come from that. There are 3 small goals that I can accomplish today, and that helps me stay on track. And then once those 3 are accomplished, I feel motivated and keep going.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
wrote down one of mine is making my bed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it could be as small as that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people, 'cause I don't know if we all have ADD, ADHD, but
Yep,
I've been
probably.
diagnosed.
But
I was
I think
diagnosed
just,
like 20
I think it's
years
just
ago. Yeah.
the nature.
you also like to be celebrated, right?
Mm.
If we're celebrated
Mhm.
because we accomplished just those goals, right?
Yeah.
It's even if you celebrate yourself, but I get done. I'm gonna tell you, this. I had to one time. I was like, after my son passed out, and didn't want to get out of bed. I had to start setting an alarm upstairs
Mm.
so I could get up and go turn it off.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And in order to, just to get, that was my momentum and my motivation because I got tired of hearing it. So I would have to go upstairs, and then I don't want to come back downstairs. So I might as well, since I'm there, go ahead and go to work, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes we have to find that thing that's gonna get us like out of that room, out of that place that's stopping us and distracting us to where we need to be. And
Yeah.
like I've gotten to the point now, I put my phone on do not disturb
Mhm.
because emails come through, phone calls come through that when I'm trying to focus on something else, those phone calls are that message will be there, the missed call will be there, the email will be there. But when you're doing your time blocking, I would suggest using the do not disturb. It's been the best thing since I've been doing that for me
Mhm.
because I get things done, right?
That's huge. And breaking it up into that tiny of step, like just go turn off the alarm. Mel Robbins' 5-second rule is awesome, but I'm like, I really don't want to go to the gym, but I'll just get up and put my shoes on whether I go or not. Like breaking it up into the tiniest pieces sometimes can help you actually do it. Like I'm just going to go to the gym and get 1 rep in, 5 minutes in. And then once you're there, you're like, okay, it's possible. I'm going to do more. And then once you do it one day, you have evidence that you can do it and it feels good and you get that dopamine and that reward and you'll do it the next day. But it's hard to start when you're in a funky place. So you're right. Just
Mm-hmm.
making those little bitty tiny habits and each one that you do and you keep that promise to yourself makes you a little more confident that you're going to do it again. So it's
Mhm.
good stuff. Thank you so much for sharing, you guys. This was a great convo. And yeah, I can't wait to see what we all do in 2026. It's going to be awesome.
Too. So like real quick, my thing is when I became an agent, my team lead was like, get an Apple Watch because you're gonna have phone calls going off and you can view them. And my parents are pretty elderly, like my dad's in his 80s. And so last time I turned my phone off, he literally went to the hospital. Like when I put on do not disturb and I didn't get any of the messages. So I'm like, and my kids are young, so I'm super nervous about that. But I just got an Apple Watch so I could just look real quick because then it'll keep me like, okay, nothing's wrong. I can stay focused.
Not an emergency. I
Yeah.
can deal with it later. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's good.
The other thing is you can see the vibration, even if my phone, even my watch or anything buzzes, I'm gonna look. So I put mine on do not disturb, but I do have certain people that are bypassed, that the emergency bypass. So that will come through whether my phone's on silent, do not disturb, whatever case may be. And it's worse because I got a Mac and an iPhone, so they're on both, and it just rings both things. So I got to silence all of it. It's
Yeah.
distraction.
The
I got-
teacher in me wants to jump in and talk about ADHD, but I won't. But that talk where you said the vibration just disturbed you. I literally had students in my class, and I taught, first grade, so 6 and 7-year-olds, that their own pencil was like a distraction. Their own clothing was like a distraction.
Mhm.
So there are people that just the tiniest of things in their environment distract them. But in addition, kind of a different route on the ADHD is my daughter and my husband both have it. My daughter has never been medicated. My husband didn't start taking medication till well into his 50s.
Mhm.
And I always had that teacher perspective of ADHD that, you know, especially the H, where sometimes they can't keep their hands to themselves, they can't keep their mouth closed, they can't, you know, they can't complete a task because their brain is so busy. They all have high IQ.
Mhm.
That's was my view of it, and kind of with my daughter and no medication was, as long as she still has friends, as long as she still has good grades, we're not going to do this. But what I found out when my husband went on it was there's a whole other component, and both of them pretty much have high anxiety. Both of them have that voice in their head that tends to be more negative than mine.
Mhm.
And my husband told me when he started taking medicine, first, he was like super sad that he had waited his whole life to do this, that how things would have been different or could have been different. But the other thing was for him, tasks, especially in the morning, the day just seemed way too overwhelming. Like, you know,
Mm.
there's no way I'm going to get this done. And I have so, and he said he'll take that medicine and it's like everything seems easy. Like
Mhm.
everything is organized in his brain and I can do this, and this. You know, he had a more positive outlook. So I feel bad that as an educator, I overlooked that component, that it's not just about the inattention or the can't keep your hands to yourself. There's anxiety that goes with it. I think there's a lot of negative self-talk that could go to depression. So it's good that I just thought I'd give my insight on that.
Yeah.
Brain's like a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
Like I have a
Yeah.
million things going on at once. I just had to learn how to,
Yeah.
like, it's like when you're moving, you focus on one room at a time. If you think about the whole thing, you're gonna get freaked out.
Too much.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so you like
By some
focus.
small tasks.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all those little notepads and timers and reminders that's that executive function part of your brain, where a lot of people can have one thing in their brain and hold it in memory while they do another thing and come back to it. But most people with ADHD can't do that. And so having an external executive function of Post-it notes and timers and calendars,
Yeah.
that's a way to compensate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I still can't get my husband to do that, but
Yeah, I've got more binders. I got everything.
Yeah.
Write it
Yeah.
down, never read it. I
I
write a
know.
lot of notes and I never read them.
Me too.
Me too.
Me
That's-
too.
But I will say, Linda, thank you so much, because I have to agree, as a fully functional, non-medicated. I mean, I used to take medication when I was younger. Way back then, it was, I don't know if it was new or what, but there was a lot of complaints, and I have to agree, felt like a zombie. So I got myself off it and learned my triggers. I
right.
will say there's a challenge. Anxiety is one of them. Social anxiety is huge. I love being around people. I'm a very sociable person. I'm a public speaker, but I have the most anxiety being around, like, just people. Even this call right now, there's anxiety, right?
Right.
And
Mhm.
so absolutely there's a small little voice. It's like just self-doubt, and it will take you down, especially for those of us that have ADD. It's because because we don't like you said, the big picture, right? It's all the
Mhm.
small tasks. And so that voice will literally talk us out of it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so,
I have two daughters. One hasn't, one does not.
Yeah.
Obviously raised by the same parents, same environment. We go to the same church. And for the one daughter who does not, she would walk into the youth group room and look at all the people in there like a field of flowers, and who's she going to pick and who's she going to sit by? And oh, I think I'll sit by that one. My daughter with ADHD would walk in the room and freeze and go, oh, they're all staring at me, and she just wanted to go home.
but we want
So
the same thing. So we have this idea of the flowers, right? Like, oh,
yes.
cool people, I love these people. But then as soon as we get there, it's like, oh crap. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I agree. I do have to run, guys. I've got another
Yeah.
meeting starting in 1 minute.
Yeah,
So
y'all have a great
good.
day.
Thank you guys. Please reach out to us if you want to chat about any of this further, but this was so good. Thank you so much for your input. You guys have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.